Welcome to another 4-H Minecraft Basics video. Today we're going to cover how to set up for Feed the Beast. The first thing you'll want to do is open up a web browser, so I happen to have one here, and you need to go and download the Feed the Beast client. So the way that you do that is you go to feed-the-beast.com. See, there's the website. And Feed the Beast is just the name of a challenge map that was released in 2011 or so, and it had a big pyramid on it that was called the Beast. And what you had to do is you had to feed the Beast with all kinds of materials to overcome the challenge. But the mod pack, so all the different things that were installed with that particular challenge map, were actually a lot of fun to play together. So eventually, in November of last year, they finally released a mod pack that was just available for general play, not for the challenge map. So the first thing then, once you're on this site, is click on the download link. And then over here on the left side, you'll want to download the, if you're on Windows, the exe, or if you're on Mac, the jar. Go ahead, since I'm on Windows, I'm going to go ahead and click the exe. And I'm going to save in a specific location. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into my documents. I'm going to go ahead and create a new folder for it. I'm going to call that folder FTB. There we go. So I'm now in my documents FTB. I'm going to save that there. Okay, it says it is already finished. I'm going to go ahead and run this. Now, in my case, I've already had this on my system, so it already loaded all this up. When you run this for the first time, it's going to spend a little time downloading all of the information on all the different packs that are available. However, once you've got the pack showing up here, you'll see that the very top one here is called FTB Ultimate 101 for Minecraft version 1.4.7. And that's the version that we're going to be using for this mod pack. Change it over to myself. Alright. So, in order to actually run the mod pack, this is all you'd have to do. However, one of the things that we want to do to make sure that it's going to run smoothly, because there's so many graphical changes in the Feed the Beast Ultimate pack, you want to make sure that it runs well. In order to make that happen, what we'll do, let's go to Google, is you want to install a mod called OptiFine. And we'll go through the steps on how to install OptiFine right now. So I'm going to search for OptiFine, and what you want to do is you want to find the link that is on minecraftforum.net. There are lots of links to OptiFine. It's a very popular mod, and I can't give you the link directly because the author constantly changes the name of the link. However, it's always on Minecraft Forum. So minecraftforum.net, once you find that link, go ahead and just click on it. It should open a page that looks like this. Scroll down. There you go. So here's the page. Sometimes, depending on the browser that you use, there may be a vote up here at the top. In any case, this is what we want. So what you'll want to grab is either OptiFine Ultra, if you've got a slightly better computer, or if you've got if your computer isn't quite as good, just grab the standard version. There isn't a significant difference between the two. What you do not want is you do not want the light version, because the light version does not have the improvements that we need in order to make it work. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the standard version here, and you'll notice that the version that it's got up here on the screen, so the current release version is OptiFine for Minecraft 1.5.1. Well, we're not going to be installing on 1.5.1. You can see over here we've got version 1.4.7. So I'm going to pop back over to the OptiFine page. And I'm going to click underneath the standard. You see right here it says older version. So I'm going to click on spoiler. And now I can see lots of older versions. And what I want to get is the version that is at least the same version that I've got, or one or two below. So here you can see here all the older versions. There are quite a few of them. And the version number keeps increasing. So OptiFine 1.2.5, that would be for Minecraft version 1.2.5. Here's for 132. Here's 145. And it looks like the latest version before OptiFine 151 is 146. And that'll work for us. And then we'll want to grab whatever the one that's on top. So you can see here we've got B4, B5, C3, D5. So whatever the one that's the highest one of those. And so it looks like that one is OptiFine 146 HD D5. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click download. And what you'll get is these goofy AdFly pages. Whenever you see an AdFly page like this, do not click on anything below. What you do is you wait for the top right over here to change. There's a little countdown timer. It's got 5 seconds on it. Just wait the 5 seconds, and then you'll get this button that says Skip Ad. So all of this stuff, and this is always the same no matter what it looks like, even if it looks like it's real, it's really just an advertisement. You just got to wait the 5 seconds and then click this button at the top right that says Skip Ad. So now here's the OptiFine page, and this one again has got a bunch of ads on it. We don't really need any of these other things. The one that we want is here right in the middle, and it's called Download OptiFine 146 HD D5.zip. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go ahead and, well, see, even though I clicked it, it opened a window in the background. So just be aware of that. There's lots of advertisements on these pages, because all these guys, this is how these guys make money. Is they make money from these advertisements since you don't pay them for OptiFine. So, do I want to download OptiFine from OptiFine.net? Yes. I'm going to go ahead and click Save. And then I'm going to click on View Downloads to make sure I see where that is. Download location is in Downloads. Now, this is just an Internet Explorer. Whatever browser you've got, you can do the same kind of thing to see where it is. So I'm going to click on Downloads. Bring this folder over here. And here you can see... in my downloads folder, there's my OptiFine. Okay, so now I know where it is. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the browser. I don't need that anymore. So to install OptiFine, what I need to do is click on the Ultimate. So in the once you've loaded Feed the Beast launcher, click on the Ultimate pack. Then at the top right here, click on Edit Mod Pack. And in Edit Mod Pack, you can basically change out all of the different mods that are part of the mod pack. So, in order to play on the server, you'll need all of the mod packs that are in here installed, otherwise you won't be able to connect. But we want to install OptiFine, so we want to add one to this. Now, OptiFine is what's called a jar mod, which means it needs to be installed in the jar itself. So what we're going to do here is we're going to click on Add Mod. So I'm going to click on, what I did is I clicked on Jar Mods, and then at the bottom right I'm going to click on Add Mod. And that should bring up another window that lets me browse. I'm going to make this a little bigger by dragging the bottom right hand corner. Alright. And then I'm going to look for, now I've got it in my downloads, so I've got it over here. I could also click in this window and grab this path and just paste it in and say Open. And that takes me directly to the location. So I went ahead and did that, and there's my version of OptiFine. I'm going to click on Open in here. And you'll see now I added a mod, and it automatically went over here on the left. And that's all I got to do. Now OptiFine is going to load in the FTB pack. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Click on Edit Mod Pack, make sure it looks good. Yep, OptiFine is in there. The one last thing we're going to take a quick look at is to make sure the FTB has enough memory. So if even after doing all of that, you still have trouble running FTB, one of the things that you can do is you can come over here on the options, in the launcher on the options page, and you can make sure that you've got a good amount of RAM. Now my computer happens to have a lot of RAM, and I tend to do a lot of high-powered things on here. So I've got mine set to 4 gigabytes. I think by default it's probably set about 1 gigabyte. So depending on how much RAM your computer has, you can increase this to something greater than 1 gigabyte to make sure that you've got enough RAM to run the game. If you don't have enough RAM, it's not that big a deal. The game will just eventually run out of memory and it'll disconnect you, and then you'll just have to restart and it'll still work fine. And now I'm going to go ahead and click Launch. Alright, and it does take a little while to launch. That window over. Bunch of windows that'll pop open. And what you'll notice is when you run FTB, you'll have this other window that's in the background. It's called the console, and it's going to have lots of lines of text loading up. And just leave that window open. That window needs to stay open in the background. But that's basically just giving you the status of what's going on with the Java loader to make sure that there are no errors or anything like that. Give it a little while. It does take a while to load. Okay, and there's my Minecraft. So it's got a slightly different menu style. This is actually from a mod pack called Voxel, which is pretty neat. It's got some neat things. It looks pretty cool. But before I go into any game, what I need to do is I need to configure OptiFine to make sure that it's set for the optimum settings and make sure that I don't get too much video lag. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Options. And then on the Options page, I'm going to click on Video Settings. And so now I've got a bunch of extra video settings that I didn't used to have. So there are 3 settings that you want to turn on that speed up or that make the game playable on almost any computer. I've played FTB even with all these mod packs on some fairly old computers, and they work just great. So I'm going to click on Graphics and change that to Fast, and you'll notice if I mouse over the button, it tells me which ones speed up the performance. So the first one is change graphics to fast. The second one is change the render distance. It does not need to be far. Even if you've got a good computer, normal works just great. If you don't, drag it down to tiny. You'll still be able to play the game just fine. Or anything in between. Tiny, tiny plus 16, or short. So I'm going to go ahead and set it to short. For performance, you really don't need this many FPS. I'm going to go ahead and drag this down to 30. I'm going to go ahead and drag this down to 30. Okay, and then the last setting is this one right here. It's called Advanced OpenGL. And so if this may not be available on all computers, you do need to have a graphics accelerator for this to work. But this is definitely one of the ones that will really speed things up. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it to fast. And you'll see here that's the fastest setting, so that's the best performance on a computer. Okay. Now, if you want to, if you're still having trouble, you can go through all these different buttons and just mouse over them and see whichever one says it's fastest. Right? So here, like in this case for fog, the setting for off is actually the fastest. Right? Clouds, I don't think there's something on there, but if I click on details, I get a whole new menu. And it looks like default would probably be the fastest. Or maybe fast would be faster. So either way, if you're still having trouble, you can go through all these extra settings if you need to. Okay. So now we should be done, and we can connect to the server. So I've got a couple servers already there, and there's the server name that you're going to want to connect to. But I'll put that in the document as well. See if that works. We'll double click on it, make sure it looks good. It sure does. And here I am. I'm in my power generation room. You can see there's all my industrial steam engines and my steam boilers. So this is the kind of thing that you'll be able to make as well.